afternoon and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is VanPebble, and welcome to the stream today. Let's set it all up. Oh my god, we didn't even set it up. Oh my god, we didn't even set it up. Oh my god, okay, we're set up now. It's very easy to set up. There we go, we're set up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream today. Yes, listen. If you're sitting here listening to this going, wow, he's very mellow. Yeah, that's what we do here. We're not really like the kind of streamer that's gonna be. I always tell people, like, I'm older. I maybe was a little different. I think I always was this guy, but when I was younger, I guess I talked a little louder. I suppose I always felt like I was shushed by people, and I don't feel that. I'm a guy that whenever I would try to talk in groups of people would be like, shush. I actually been shushed by people before. So I realized that for me, the talking isn't like something that I could just do and try to get the best conversation I can from different people. It depends on the person you're hanging out with, in other words. No, for me, it's like I need to get away from people so that I can have something to say, if that makes any sense. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, doing it on a stream, and that's one of the reasons we stream, is we never really we're kind of shush my whole life. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go all in here with a pair of jacks. It's lame, but I honestly think this guy's shooting for something he doesn't have. And I am right. And there it is with the jack 8. I don't know what he was actually going for. I think people are doing a lot of bluffing. I think that's what is going on. I think that's why he did that. So here we are. Let's really officially go. We're playing Texas Hold'em. The name of the game is HD Poker. My name is VanPebble, and we are doing what we do, which is streaming video games. It's a great thing. I love it. I don't know if anyone's noticed that my background's a little darker, but like lit. It's not as lit as it used to be, but I like this. I like it darker. I'm more of a. This is what I like. It's more natural, right? Well, I had a guy put a light in. So there was a guy who helps work on our house from time to time. He's got like a relationship with our landlord, and they're friendly, so he'll like to help take care of it. I think he's another tenant in another building, because my landlord has like a bunch of houses. Ladies and gentlemen, back to the game. As we always say, it's always back to the game, no matter what we were talking about. And we're gonna take this baby up to about, I would say, 323. Because we have 2 pair, which is a massive 2 pair. The king and the 3. And we're going to show everybody what we had. We are at 1.64 million. We're doing a good job here. We're not sponsored. Another 2 pair. We're not sponsored. We're not sponsored. But if we were, Amazon grocery purified water. There you go, folks. There's the ad. There's the jokey ad. The idea is to make a joke and have fun with it. But then also be like, hey, if somebody does want to sponsor, that would be your spot. And by the way, if you did sponsor me, you would have several sponsored moments, because I'm often, every time I take a drink, there's a chance that I could jump in and go, and I could throw anything in there. Not sponsored by this. Let me check my phone. We're not sponsored by Samsung. I mean, anybody can sponsor us. Anybody. What is that? A ghost? We're not sponsored by ghosts. See, I told you anything could be a sponsor. Do I smell peanut butter? We're not sponsored by that. See, we could be sponsored by that, though. Do I smell peanut butter? Oh. Although, the one thing I will never sponsor is, like, food stuff, because I don't eat on the air. We could like, you know, turn the microphone off and eat, I guess. I'm very sensitive to eating on the mic. And I have had a few times where I'll sip, you know, like that, some water, and I do, like, watch back sometimes to see if there's any clips, or I just like to look. Sometimes I like to just look at my stuff. I was at work the other day, and I played one of my streams, and it was, like, relaxing to me. It was kind of fun to listen to. Because I've always thought about that. How would it be if I just listened to my stream? And it works pretty good. I mean, the one I was listening to was like Max Payne 3, and that's where it's just a game. Like, it's not really a lot of talking. So that was not like that was kind of cool to like listen to like a movie kind of. That's a great game. We will be playing that again this week. Max Payne 3. But this is what we really love. I play poker every week on this thing, and I imagine that will continue forever. Until I die. Which is supposed to be sometime next week. I'm kidding. I don't know. It would be fun to be humble about it would be fun to be, like, matter of fact about it. Not even... I feel like I'm getting... As you get older, you do get a little, like... I'm more sensitive to everything, but... Like, I have Facebook. The only reason I have Facebook is so I can have cat groups, and I could just have like 1 million cat groups and like really close friends. Speaking of which, this is kind of an interesting topic I'm going to bring up here. As we continue playing well, as we look at the table here, everybody's doing quite well. I mean, one guy's gone, so they're obviously not doing well at all. Oh. Not at all. I like this table a lot too. Really cool table. It's like, I mean, it's like a Valentine's table, but still really cool. We got the ace high. We bet 60K. Gotta have something. So that was me burping off mic. You probably hear it, but at least I didn't do it right in the mic. And that's what you're going to get with VanPebble. We try to make you feel comfortable. And I do know what I was going to say, and we will continue. It's kind of an interesting situation that pops up, and it's really about... There's the 10. 9, 10... Jack is what the missing thing here. Nobody seems to have the jack. It's 120K. I'm just gonna check it along. I might have this one. Queens. Okay, we both had it because of the queen. We both had queens. We split it. I had a 6. He had a 4 for a kicker, but because our kickers didn't come into the equation on that one. So let's see here. Yeah, man, I love poker. I like sitting down, talk. I mean, we're always sitting down when we're playing video games, but like, it just feels like I'm sitting down hanging out. Like, if I'm playing other games, I may be sitting down, but I'm not always hanging out. Sometimes I'm like moving frenetically, getting busy. Let's see what we got here. We don't have anything. I fold. $240K in the pot. One pair ace kicker. Ace, queen, 7, 10, queen. I see, it was queens. I was trying to figure out what the pair was that won there. So yeah, things got interesting. kind of. So what happened was, it's an interesting thing to talk about for me, because I had a roommate a while ago. We're talking back in like 2005, 2006. Did it go back that far? I want to say it must have gone back to like, it could have been 2009, 2010. It could have been, but it feels like it was earlier. There was an apartment that I had for a while. My mom helped me get it. I was like in my 30s still, and my mom, I needed like my mom's credit line or something. I don't know if I had bad credit or something, and my mother helped me get this apartment. Like, I paid for it, but she helped me somehow with her credit, because she lived in Seattle. I came to visit from Philadelphia to Seattle back in not even 2000, it was 1997. I decided to come visit my mom, and then I was going to move to California. I never ended up going to California. I ended up staying in Seattle. And then eventually I ended up moving on from my mother. I don't talk to my mom anymore. I started working as a cashier / cook / worker at an arena. It's a very interesting job to have. It's kind of cool. It's event-based. Back to the table real quick. 2 pair, jack and 6. Nicely done. That's going to take Zoros down to 420,000. Roberto's up to 2.52 million. That's the killer at the table right now, is Roberto. Roberto. So, we were working at arenas, and I liked it. I've always been trying to find something that I didn't think it was really close to my house. That was one of the first times that a job was actually like right across the street. Like, it was really easy for me because I lived really close to this arena. It used to be called the Key Arena. Now it's called the Climate Pledge Arena. They basically take arenas, and if you don't know, most people do know this, whatever business is the big business that decides that they want to like purchase, it's not like they're like basically like what were we talking about earlier? They sponsor, basically. So these big companies decide, we're going to sponsor this arena. Just call us the Pickle Arena, because we're the pickle company. The Pappy's Pickle Company. Pappy's Pickle Company becomes a huge company, and then Pappy's Pickle Company. Oh, there's the 3 of a kind. There goes Widow. Another widow getting nothing. Do you get it? Another widow getting nothing out of the deal. Oh my god, that was so... For some reason that seemed like a great thing to say. It makes no sense really. Okay, cool. Alright, great. So let's say a guy's name is Pappy's Pickle Company, right? We're gonna play this hand. And up comes 5, 4, 7. Not a great flop. Zoros is the low man. He's got to do something. That's his move. I'm out. Ace Queen versus Ace 7. Interesting. Nice play by Zoros. Still in the game. I know where I was in the conversation. Don't worry. We try to pay attention here on the stream here. It is an interesting situation. It's more interesting because it's about my feelings more than anything. It's about my feelings about people of our past. That's why we're going into the past right now. Whenever I go into the past, it has to do with relevant feelings now. I try not to be a person ever that talks about the past just to talk about the past, because that could fuck with your feelings and your mental. I need to be feeling good most of the time. Just as a person, as a security guard, a guy who has to make sure he's kind of in check with how he feels and like what he's eating and drinking, and like how do I feel? Am I okay? I'm dealing with people all the time. I gotta make sure I'm on top of my game. So let's say there's a company called Pappy's Pickles, and we'll get past this point. Another all-in. Zuros gets the win. Now Zuros has eclipsed me, and there goes Debbie C, and now it's a top 3, and I keep rhyming. Somebody stop me. I mean, I can't do this any longer. All right, here we go. Ace 4, 5, 5, 9 on the table. What do we do here? Definitely had to fold that because I really just didn't have anything. And I'm not going to panic just because Zuros is having the game of his life here in this wonderful afternoon. So Pappy's Pickles. And Pappy's Pickles is this, let's pretend, this huge thing. Let's get over this right now. And Pappy's Pickles decides they're so big, their company, they want to be known throughout Seattle. They want to be bigger. They feel like they could be bigger if they could go into the arena. So they go into an arena called the Key Arena, but they decide they want to change the name of it because Key Bank is the company that used to be Key Arena. And it was called Key Arena. It kind of made sense. It was a cool little name and everything. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Queen at the table. We are going to bet 160K. That should get everybody out of there, I would imagine. I don't know. Yeah, I can't imagine anybody's going to want to mess around with me there. So then Pappy's Pickles becomes Pappy's Pickle Arena, or Pappy's Arena, or the Pickle Arena. And that happens all the time. And they usually have it for a few years or many years, and then eventually it changes to Verizon Arena, McDonald's Arena, all right? So I say that just to get people involved in the story, because it is a story it's going to take a while to tell, because we're playing a game here. And it looks like we're going to lose Zoros, and we're going heads. Zoros was playing very, very aggressively, and I think it finally got the best of them. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bet 400K out of the gate because I don't have much money here, and I need to just play big. I'm just going to go all in here. He's got Queen 6. I've got 10-10. That's a very nice win for VanPebble. Evening things up a little bit. He has 3.21, we have 2.38. And a lot of times when I'm telling stories, if we get to this point in the game where we're like just about to win, we'll just go ahead and win it. Or whatever. And then, you know, take like a little break, tell the story, and then get back into another game. So that's probably what will happen. Because it is something I do want to talk about. It is an interesting thing. 250 he bets. 250K he bets. That's a little bet, kinda. It's kind of a big bet, though. I didn't want to play around with that one. King 8 is one of those hands that I think I get fooled with it. I always think, like, I love the king. The 8 is a high card. They're kind of close to a straight, complementing each other in some kind of a straight deal, but it's not a great hand for me, King 8, so I had to fold. And here we go, 9-7. I don't not like 9-7. I don't like 9-7. I want to be smart here. Hopefully I didn't just... There we go. That's a good hand. I'll play this hand. If I have a good hand, I'm going to raise the stakes. There you go. Let's go all in. What have you got? You've got Queen 10. That's a better hand than I have. Jack 9. I like my chances. I still like my chances. There's the Jack. And there's the 10. But the Jack is stronger than the 10. Queen never shows up. And now we've taken the lead here. We're all in with 2-2. He goes all in with 10-4. Trying to win with a small pair. I feel like this is our comeback game. There's the 2. That should do it, I think. Oh, a heart would do it. Oh, he didn't get the heart. So the heart would have been the best hand at the table. I think the flush, right? Why would it... Let's go back. I just want to take a look at that. We won that, by the way. That was really nice. I want to see that hand. I'd love to see that hand if we can somehow. That was beautiful. Nice job, VanPebble. And we're gonna just jump right back into another game because we're having fun. And because it's early in the game, we should have enough time to talk about this situation. So let's say a big company, this is what we now know. We know what I used to do. I used to work in arenas. It's a very sustainable job, especially if you can work at several arenas. A lot of times you'll get a company, or there's different companies. So let's talk about the companies that help. When you have an arena, you have several stands in the arena. And so usually what happens is the arena, even if it's called Pappy's Pickle Place, Pappy's Pickle Palace, Pappy's Pickle Arena, basically they're named after the arena, but Pappy's Pickles they probably have a store in there, but not everything is going to be pickles in there. There might be a lot of pickle stuff in the arena, but you want more. So what'll happen usually is there'll be a company that is a staffing company that will help staff people. And so I work for a company called I don't even remember their name, but I wouldn't give them a plug anyway, because they were kind of... I don't want to give a plug to these big companies that I feel aren't that great. But it was Aramark there. It was Aramark. It's a big company. So Aramark helps staff. So I got a job with Aramark. And so therefore, Aramark was in like 2 or 3 arenas. So I was working full year in arenas. That's why I wanted to tell this big story. I know it got too big there, but... As we play in another game here, very good. Camera's in a great place. Microphone's working, great. And the microphone smells like a beer. I said, tell your story, they're trying to do. What is he doing here? All right, it's a Billy Joel reference. Let's go. Let's take a Billy Joel break. La da 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 la la da da da. Okay, Billy Joel breaks over. So imagine that there's an arena, and imagine that there's a staff company that staffs all these people for the arena, okay? Now you have an idea of what I was doing for a living year-round. Year-round. Because I would work in the, like, baseball stadium for a while, and then, like... Another season would start up, hockey and basketball. Then I'd start working over at... Now, I would have to take the bus to the baseball arena and the football arena. But then I could take I lived right across the street, basically, for the basketball arena. Sonics. We used to have a team called the Sonics. So that's a big story. That's why it takes a lot of background. And that's why this is perfect. You got plenty of time to tell the story. And as you're telling the story, you got a game going on. It's a perfect thing. Here we go. So, during my time in this arena work, I knew at some point I was going to have to get like a real job somewhere, because it just seemed like it was a real job, and it was paying slightly good. I think we were making like, I don't know how much I was making back then. It probably was about $10 or $11 an hour. It wasn't very much, you know. It wasn't that much money, really, to be honest. And I was paying a lot of money for rent. But the fact that we were working nonstop was really good. But eventually I had to do so much more just to keep things going. Just to keep, yeah. There's a lot of, like, you get into these stories and there's a lot of other stories, and it's like, I don't want to get into all that. I want to keep this going the way it's going. So here's what happens. We're working arenas, and we're doing pretty good. We're living, you know, in a good place right by the Seattle Center, as it was called. We have King 9, and there's a hand again. I'm folding King 9 almost all the time. Unless I'm like heads up, King 9 is not a great hand for me. Let's see how it would have done in this situation. King Queen, Queen 8. There's the Queen. And there you go. We would have gotten smoked right there. King Queen wins that one. So as I'm working I'm meeting people, right? You meet the same people. I didn't really like the same people because, as I've said on the stream several times, I love people, but I'm not a people person. I feel like people, I don't know why, but I usually get either picked on or bullied, or like, even in high school, it was always like, I just never felt comfortable around people. I feel like they always want to like step on you and climb, and nobody really, like, people are not really very nice at jobs. And also they're like, I've had so many instances where people wanted what I was doing. They wanted to do what I was doing, so they would try to pull something to get me in trouble or something. I mean, just a lot of bull stuff. And I was a young guy who came from the military, so I think I kind of carried myself sort of as a young military guy. And people did not like that, especially in the food industry, where it's like, hi, how are you? Good. What did you like today? Okay. Like, I'm not making fun of people that talk that way, because I think it's very good that people are professional, but I'm not really that guy. And I'm also not, when you put me with other people that are that way, they don't like my style. I'm just like, hey, I mean, then I was probably a little bit more like, hey, how you doing? Little bit of Joey Tribbiani from Friends. I was probably more like that. And so, but I didn't look like Joey. If I did, everyone would love me. I look like me. And I just think that there was just, in that industry, the food industry, especially the service industry, we don't really have anything here. We're going to get out of this one. You see a lot of people that were really just like, it's like I feel like I was a shape that didn't fit into something. And I didn't really get along with people. I didn't not get along with most people. I got along with some people. Actually, I did not get along. Like, it was bad. Like, and so there was like a lot of things to go into it. But there was one guy in particular, and finally we're at the point where I feel like the story is where I want it to be. And this is the topic that I want to talk about as we play poker here. So there was this one guy named Victor, and he was from Venezuela. He spoke English, but he was clearly a Latino guy, and he was gay. And we'll explain why that even matters, right? I mean, we're in Seattle, by the way. Get used to it. If you don't like gay, stay out of Seattle, because it is one of the gayest places that you'll ever be. And I never had a problem with that. So I was grown up and raised, like, I knew many people that were gay. I never had a problem with it, and I never ran around calling people fag. I just sorry for even saying the word, but like, it just means nothing to me. Like, I'll never use the N-word because that's a whole nother level. I'll never even say that word. But like, the word fag is like just not a word you ever. I don't. It's just dumb. It's a dumb word. I mean, I don't know. I just don't care. So anyway, this guy was a very, very, very popular guy. He was older guy. Now you're going to say how much older. I would say at the time he was in his 40s. I was in my 30s. So he was almost 50. So now he's got to be, if I'm 52, he's got to be like almost 65 or almost 70. He's older than me. Now King 10 I will play. So at least with the conversation, now we have the straight, ladies and gentlemen. At least in the conversation, I've got it to the point where I'm talking about Victor, because that's what I want to talk about. Victor. And I'm going to make a big bet here. We make the bet. We get the straight. We hit 776 thou, which is decent. Thanks, good try. And I woke up today late. But I woke up still. I woke up. And I get a message from this guy, Victor. Now, the background of me knowing that guy goes a little deeper. Because I met the guy in, I want to say it was around 2000 and Really, honestly, it was probably 2003, 2005. That's when I worked there for about 6 years, I guess. It seemed like longer. But 2006, 2007, something around, right around that time. 2005, 6, 7. That's when I knew Vic. And then eventually, Victor got gay bashed. So what happened was he went to a bar and these guys were like, "Hey, fag." I'll stop using the word actually altogether because I don't want to offend anybody. Even if I'm just using, I don't want to do that. So people were like, "Hey, F word," and then they beat the fuck out of the guy and broke his arm. Now, I knew Vic because Vic was a stand leader. Now, basically what a stand leader is, he's like a manager. So all these people loved this guy because he was the manager and everyone wanted to go to his stand. And I ended up at his stand many times, and he and I were friendly. Even though Victor was gay, he was really into sports. And so that's where I kind of connected with Vic, was gay. I mean, sports. No, obviously I'm not gay. And he knew that. So even though he knew it, he still would hit on me sometimes, and I actually liked that quality of him. I thought it was kind of funny, a little annoying sometimes, but funny nonetheless. So here's what happens: the guy gets beat up. I knew him for a few years. I lived very close by. Maybe you could do the math at this point. He needed a place to stay. And I think he had been homeless before, and you'll never meet a cooler homeless guy in your life, you know? So I basically was like, I don't want this guy to be homeless. You're gonna stay with me for a while. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out. I was pretty cool back then, actually, to do that. So, and many people knew that I was a guy that was single, lived alone, and I had let many people stay at my place from time to time. But a lot of times it didn't work out. People would take advantage. So one guy somehow got a hold of my phone. I guess I had a landline phone number, and the guy called on it and charged like a lot of money that I had to pay for on my phone. Just like, you know, I didn't really want to have roommates, but it wasn't a thing where there was a point in my life where I think God put people in my life, and I think God put this guy in my life. So this guy lived with me for like 3 years. I don't think I'm exaggerating. It just turned out like season after season, it was working. It wasn't like a thing that wasn't working. But eventually, it did get to the point where I go, "Hey man, find another place to live." Like, it's been 3 years. I was getting sick of his partying, like, with other people in my house. And I was just at the point where I was like, and also there was a little bit more involved as well. I felt like this guy was... well, actually, the main thing was I just started realizing that I wasn't like a people guy anymore. Like, I guess I never really realized just how much I just need to be alone. When I get home from work, I don't want to see other people. I don't want to see... Like, I live with other people in a house, but they'll be the first to tell you I'm almost rude. I don't like talking to people. And I don't mean to be rude. I don't want to deal with, like... I'll say, "Hey, how you doing?" I'll be nice. But if you get too much in my face, I'm going to tell you, "Hey, why don't you fuck off. We're going all in here." So finally I get the house to myself. The guy does move out. Took a really long time. And I just stayed friendly with the guy. Oh, this is not good at all. Oh, we're going to lose this big time. He's got 3/8. We have no shot. Yeah. Full house. That was a tough one. Because you think you go in with King Jack, but when somebody has 8/8, all right, that's a tough one. That's okay. We will get into another game. So, the history of this guy Victor, and I won't say his last name, but it's like a very Venezuelan name, right? Let's do this. While we're waiting to get into another game, let's finish this story. And let's go with something fun and upbeat like this. 5 hours of deep lounge music. Bar music. So what happens is, and by the way, I will tell you a little more background. It was around 2009, 2008, I think. Because at that point, I remember a lot of things. I don't know, I'm trying to think. Because I was working at a restaurant, trying to get out of the arena work. So at that point, the Lakers were doing incredibly well. It was Lakers Celtics for a few years there. I know in 2010 it was Lakers Celtics, 2008 Lakers Celtics. So I was working at a restaurant around that period of time. I don't know if Victor was still with me at that point. Might have been gone. So really, I think he left around 2006 or 7. And then I was friendly with this guy, Victor, for a while. We would call each other. It was like we were family. Whenever he would talk to me, he'd call me Pinchuero, which is like really basically it's like saying, hey, fucking white boy. I honestly really never liked that. I didn't realize it until one day. I just was like, I'm sick of this guy calling me white boy because he really didn't like white people. And I think he was able to see like the half Italian part. I don't know of me, but I am a white guy, obviously. And so I just was like, I don't have like white pride or anything like that. In fact, I've always been taught like there's no such thing as like pride for your color. It's all about like anybody could be your family and all this kind of thing. I've always taught that way. But I'm not the most cultured guy. All right, I wasn't raised with culture, and this is a very cultured person, and so I don't know, maybe that's why we just weren't really, but not being around the guy for a long time, I just hadn't talked to him in a while, and I've realized that he was more into his own life and his own world than mine, and that's when I gotta cut the cord. Also, he was living with this guy who was, I guess, his lover or whatever. Again, I'm not gay, so there's no like jealousy or anything, but the guy was a douchebag, and every time I'd call, the guy was like in the background being charming and singing, and it's like a lot of times there's one thing about gay people that a lot of them are very talented and they can sing and stuff, but sometimes they'll use that to like make fun of the boring heterosexual guy, and that's kind of what was happening, that dynamic. So as we wait for this table, we'll continue this story. It's kind of interesting. So then what ends up happening is I decide, like, I'm so sick. I forget the exact details at this moment, but I remember just being like, I'm so over this friendship. It's not a friendship. It's a one-way street. It's always about him, his family. And quite frankly, I'm sick of having to answer this guy's call. He's doing good in his life. Just let's cut the cord. So I cut the cord. I didn't talk to the guy for a really long time. And that felt good. That was, and you're talking, if you're saying 2000 and when I finally cut the cord was probably around COVID maybe, but I want to say it was way before COVID. I would say it's probably like 2014. So now 2025, we're talking 10 years later at least. Oh, we're at the table. We're going to play this. Thank you. Good, we're back. All right, let's get back into the game here. So that whole setup is basically because we're doing this game and we're slow playing the talk. So that's why it took so long. Believe me, I could have gotten there a lot faster, but that's not the nature of the stream. The nature of the stream is to stretch things out and to do 2 or 3 things at once. We will check that. Queen 9. Oh, it's so good. Water is so good. So I got nothing. I'm folding that. Florida girl takes it down. So that was like at least 15 years ago. It feels longer actually. And quite frankly, I just was ready to move on. And there was a point in my life where it was very empowering, where I realized, oh, there you go. I'm going to fold that. Florida girl getting the cards, obviously. Let's see if anybody plays along. This is where people like Florida girl make mistakes. There's no reason to bet that big here. Somebody could steal that pot from you. It's not going to be me. Zoros considers it. Like, all you won there was 21K. You have 842K. You started with 800K. You're not doing that great. You're doing good. There's no reason to go all in like that. But that's good. Because hopefully they'll do that again, and then we'll catch something, and we'll get them the fuck out of here. Because you don't want to play with somebody that's constantly fucking up the pot with these dumb bets that are unrealistic. I'm going to fold. Oh, there's Zoros. We just played with Zoros, I think. 64K, Jaws Walt again. Jaws Walt, a very betty kind of player so far. I expect them to bet again. 112. They have something here. It's what do they have? But here's my, like, so the guy tries to get in touch with me today. I look at my text, and I've been blocking him every time I get a phone number. But this guy texted me, and it was just like, of course, here's what he texts me. Right? This is like a guy who I really did. One of the big reasons why I didn't want to deal with him anymore was his racism. He was so angry at white people, and I don't consider myself the white guy. Like, I'm not rich. I don't walk around going, hey, like, I don't have friends, period. But I also don't have like white friends. I don't like white isn't like my world. You know, I live in a world with a bunch of people, and I love diversity. So it's not like I'm that guy. And he's very, very Latino, and Latino this and Latino that, and it's great. But his hatred of white people makes me feel like he really doesn't secretly like me. You know what I mean? It's all that kind of stuff. And so as an adult, you just have to kind of weed those people out of your life, I feel like. And so the discussion really comes down to, do I say anything, or do I just do I continue to ghost this person? Do I at least give them a reason, or do I not get serious about it? Probably not. Do I even just go, hey man, I've kind of moved on in my life. It's nice. I think I might do that, because it shows people there's a side that I feel like I just wasn't taken seriously by a lot of people in life in general. Now we're getting down to it, but I need to make a move, so we're going to bet 50K. I have a nice hand here, jacks and nines. Obviously, if someone has a 9, I'm fucked. But they don't. And there goes to VanPebble. A nice play by VanPebble. And that'll take us up to 930K. We started off with 800K. That's a nice little move there by the VanPebster. And so here comes this person, this blast from the past. It's like an ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend, except it's not those things, because obviously this is like just a friend of mine. And like I said, he's a gay guy, I'm not, but that was always one of the fun parts of the friendship. It's like, you're gay, I'm not. It was fun. Now, the thing that sucked is women loved him so much that, like, when I was around him, it's like they didn't even see me. Because women love gay guys. They just do. Like, there's just a spirit that a gay man has. And this guy wasn't like, I've got to be careful how I talk at this point, but this guy was a guy, clearly. He wasn't doing the she thing. I don't think he would ever do that. I just don't feel like he's that person. But he's just always been into men sexually. And he's always been attracted to men, but women love him as well, and so there's that. And like I said, people loved this guy, but I got tired of everything being about him as well. And I just realized it really was more about me growing up and realizing who I am, and that the only way I can really grow and learn about myself and my life and what's next for me is to just step away from other people's agendas. Because whenever I am around people, it's always about them, and other people have to be the thing. And it's the same thing even when I'm a security guard. Sometimes I'll find people think that they're so like popular and cool that they could actually kind of like take over my site or something. I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys, but there's just some people that it's always about them, and it's like, hey man, like I'm a security guard. This isn't about you. Like maybe I'm just stepping like in a weird. I don't know if people understand where I'm going with that, but let's step out of that. But here's the real thing. What should I do? Now, I hate when people do this, when they go, what do you guys think I should do? I'll say it more like this. I have my feelings on it. I think what I should do is either not say anything, which is the way I've been living my life. I don't need to talk to this guy. Why would he reach out to me at this point? It's over for a long time. Were any bad words said? Not really. I kind of just left it be, because I realize when you have that moment with people, you think it's going to be powerful, where you go like, we've changed and things are not the same, and you and I are different now. And I don't think most people just go whatever, So actually speaking your heart to people that don't give a fuck doesn't work. So I just decided to let it go. But I'm thinking now, in this case, maybe I should. Zoros is all in. I didn't realize how low Zoros was with money. It's probably going to be their hand here. Zoros down to 452. That's not bad. I should say up to 432. VanPebble at 894. 10-2. Sometimes you get lucky with these cards. 10-2 type of a hand. In this case, that's not lucky. This guy has an ace or a jack or something. So the guy says to me, oh yeah, here's the text of the guy. He goes, what's up, Pinchuero? Love ya, miss ya. That's how we used to talk to each other. Call me, it's Victor, your ex-roommate lover, which is a joke that he would always say, I'm your lover. It was funny. I never had a problem with that. That was never a problem. I mean, sometimes when we lived together, he would come out of the shower naked, and he'd be like, hey, Wero. And I was just like, oh, what the fuck, dude? Get the fuck out of here. But, I mean, even that was funny. Like, even that, it's just like, it's funny. You know what I mean? Like, and then he goes, are you still alive? And my thing is, like, obviously I don't want to just, like, I'm not angry at the guy anymore. I don't care anymore. But I also don't want this person in my life anymore. So maybe I just say to them, hey, you know what, man? I saw that you called. I know that we had a friendship years ago. I thought we had some great moments, but I've moved on with my life. And I hope you understand, but I just want to move on with my life now. And I hope you do well in yours. I think that's what I'm going to do. In fact, let's do it. Let's do it right now as we play this game. Let's do it. We'll get it situated, and then we'll get it spelled nicely, and we'll send it to the guy. That's what we'll do. That's what this stream is going to help me with. This stream is actually going to help me get rid of an old friend that I don't want in my life anymore. But I don't need to be cruel or mean. There's no bad blood. And maybe I'll say that. There's no bad blood. And we just hit a straight. So that's going to be... We finally got the whole story out. And that's going to be the thing. Maybe we'll wait until the end of the stream to actually do that. We will do that together. I will do that. You know what might be interesting? I guess. I was going to say it's on... Oh, we definitely have to go hard in the paint here. Let's raise the fucking roof here. This should just be a little win. It'll probably just be a 180k win. I can't imagine people are actually going to go. Yeah, I didn't think so. 6, 7, 8. We'll just show the 8. I was going to say we could do a voice thing where we get the AI voice person on there, but the thing is, like, you can only record for so long on those voice messages. I don't think those things can be long. So we'll talk it out, and then we'll talk it out on the AI thing, and we'll just tell the AI thing to make it good, proper grammar, and then we'll send that to this person. And this would be a good thing for me in my life. I need to grow. I need to get beyond these people. Sometimes, you know, we'll have fantasies about seeing old bosses, or even like one of the last couple jobs I had. Sometimes you see these people, and they were just like, really, it's just a bad situation, those people. Like, I had this one guy who was like this little short guy that for some reason was just like really, really like, weird and rude to me. Like, one time, when he just first saw me, he remembered me from years ago. That's the problem, is I went back to a job that I used to be. I used to be a dishwasher, and when I went back to that place again, I was a security guard. And when that happens, people remember you as this dishwasher nothing guy. That they were sort of more telling me what to do, and then all of a sudden I was a security guard, and these people didn't know how to handle it. So, like, you meet these people later in life, and sometimes you fantasize about going, hey, remember me? You fucking, you know. But honestly, it's like my best, really my favorite fantasy is where I just kind of go, yeah, I remember you. Okay, it's nice to see you. Have a good one. Show that you're unfazed. But in this case, I think this isn't what we're trying to do. I think in this case we're not trying to be mean, but we are trying to show this guy, look, I've moved on in my life. And maybe you didn't. Maybe you thought that I would always be that guy that was just struggling in his life, but I'm not struggling anymore. And like, I don't need to say that to him. But I do want to have the closure. I just want to have the closure. When it's all said and done, and the guy dies and I die and all that stuff, I want there at least to be that closing moment. Like, oh, I remember that actually relationship ended at that point. I don't like open-ended stuff. I like a little closure. Like, where are we? Where do we stand? You know. Sometimes it is good to not have to do that, where you just go, well, it is what it is. Like some of these bad bosses and these kind of things, are like, yeah, just leave that be. Because, I mean, the other side of it is you go to the workplace where they used to work and you start a fight with them or something. That's stupid. That means that's me getting myself in trouble. That's what they wanted in the first place, is me to like basically crumble as a person and just be a nothing. Like, I don't know why, but there's a lot of people that just wish me to fail. That's how I felt. I grew up with a bad self-esteem, but like I never felt like there were people that were pushing for me to do good things in life. Or like even when I started doing something positive, which is streaming, and I've said this recently, no one is just like, hey man, that's cool that you do that. Like, there are people that have done that, but they're not old friends. They're like new people I've met, and that's why I'm friendly with those people. We're gonna bet pretty big here. Jax is nice. Jack is a nice card for this hand. This guy's betting 266k here. I think he has a jack, and I also think that he has like a nice kicker. So I'm gonna fold. I think he had the best hand there. Yes, that's what I thought. I thought there was something that he had, and that's very well played, VanPebble. Sure, we lost some money on the deal, but we started out with 800k, so we're fine. So yeah, that was just like, that's the whole story. And that's the way that we're going to put that story to bed and finish that story is we're actually going to do that today. We'll either do it after this game or after this stream. on the stream. We will talk it through. I will read it to you guys, and it will be, you will be a witness and a part of my final, to an old roommate, really. Who is this guy to you? He's a roommate. He was a family friend for a second. Like, I don't really have family, so it was something I was probably yearning for. It was like family, you know, friendship, family. But I think I started realizing I'm good on my own. I'm the strongest family I've ever had. I'm there for myself, and I support myself, and I pretty much don't really trust anybody else but myself. So I've kind of moved in that direction of solo. And at that point, I don't really need family, unless it was really going that way. And I felt like we were not really real family guys. I think it was more like Victor was this cool guy that he always was, and I think he remembers his friendship with me. He probably remembers not as much me, but he remembers himself being this popular guy. Maybe he wants to touch base with and remember that feeling about himself by being kind of talking to that old friend that used to know him way back in the day. That's where my mind goes with it. I don't know why the guy would possibly want to get in touch with me. Also, unless, too, maybe he's coming back to Seattle, because that's where this all went down. He moved to Arizona with his lover guy, this guy who he knew for a really long time. This guy was trying to marry him. Well, this guy owned a house. He had like a good life. He owned a bar. And that's another thing, is this guy was a bar. We call them bar stars. Basically what this guy would do, this guy Victor. Oh, here we go at the table, 8-10. That's going to be hard to beat. I don't think you can beat that, actually. Zoros, and that's okay, though. Zoros has 1.21 mil. Florida Girl has 1.21 mil. Spade has 1.23 mil. Those are the big players at the table. I have aces. I'm going to try to take this hand. I have the best hand at the table, I'm sure. Nobody could have the best hand right now. Nobody. So hopefully aces will hold up. I love aces because even if he hits something, jack would be bad though. Don't be a jack. Ah, there was a jack. Are you kidding me with that? That's good though. That was good for him, not for me. No, you can't regret that because that was a very good, I mean, come on, man, that's aces. Should I not have gone all in? Possibly. Possibly. But how many times are you going to lose with aces, though? Come on. So we got 200K if we lose this one. We need this one, but I mean, I don't know. We're going to go all in with nines. There we go. We also have a flush draw. If we get the flush here, that's what we really want, is flush. We need the flush, actually, I think, to win this hand. And I think a lot of people are counting on the flush. It's crazy. A lot of all-ins on this one. I like our chances. There's the jack. The jack and 9. What, did we win both? Yes! Okay, did we win anything else? We won the whole thing. Okay, great. So we lost 2 players, and not only that, but we're sitting at 1.92 mil. That was a big hand for VanPebble. Big hand for the table as well. I deserved it after losing that crazy hand before. Yeah, we're in better position now than we were, that's for sure. So yeah, this guy was like... was a cool guy until he wasn't. And like as a long distance friend, it wasn't a very good relationship. Maybe if we were living close to each other, it would have remained possibly. I just feel like I've had enough people in my life where it's all about them. There's some people that just steal sunshine. Have you ever known those people? They steal whatever's going on, they steal it. Maybe it's because they're good looking. Maybe it's because there's a lot of people that are so attractive that they can basically just take over a room. We know those people, don't you? Do you know people like that? I do. Or people that are just really smart, and so wherever they go, that just kind of shines. And you know, I've learned not to be jealous of those people, but I recognize sometimes, you know what? I don't want that person to steal my sunshine. So I'm just going to let them be who they are. But there's, you know, you can actually be aware that you're a little bit of a hog. You could be aware of it. And you can step out. I've done it many times. I've been the guy in the room that's kind of, maybe look, I'm a security guard. You're the guy, you're the voice piece. There's times when I very often will just shut my mouth, let other people have the sunshine, the spotlight. Very often. I will step back. Sometimes you realize that person needs a little shot in the arm, you know? I think there's some people that don't have that ability or that capability to let others shine. And that's why I stopped being friends with most people that I was friends with. And then the other people is just like, yeah, I'm more designed. I'm designing my life to just be about me, where I'm at, what I'm doing, what I got going. And so really no one factors into that. If I would think that what would be a good fit for me person wise is somebody who I would get into business with, and that's pretty much it. If I could get into business, not work for somebody and be their bitch, but actually be an equal earner, an equal partner, then I can see. But most of my life, people see me in a way that I don't see myself. They see me as you're the guy that you're the bitch or whatever. I don't know why that happens. You're gonna watch my cat. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that. Why do you think I'm that guy? I'm gonna bet 300 here in hopes that something amazing happens. Maybe a 3 shows up. Maybe a 10 shows up. He's betting 300K. He's got something here. I'm gonna fold. I'm not happy to fold, but I had to. He had a jack. All right. I don't know if he had anything really there. He might have been chasing. I think he had something, though. I definitely think he had something, yeah. So he's all in with 345K. I'd have to call with 2. I'm going to fold. 7-7 versus 10-10. Oh, there's the queens. What does that do? 10-10's looking strong. We would have gotten smothered here. Actually, we would have had 2-2-2, so we would have won that hand with the full house. So we would have actually won that. That's funny. But we didn't play it. And here's where I go all in. And we get a taker. And 7-7 versus ace-8. Come on. No, there's the ace. That's no good. 8, 8, 8, 8. All right, that was a tough loss, actually. It's hard to lose that one. That is a tough one. But the good thing is we did already get a win today. And let's take a look at the lobby here. It looks like there's no one in the lobby. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look. That's going to do it for poker today. We did well. We got beat there. It was hard, but it happens. Let's do... What are we going to do here? Do we do a bonus stream here, or do we just go, let's get out? Because we do have another stream to do today, but we're streaming this now. Let's do one bonus stream of Balatro here. Let's do a little bonus Balatro. Ladies and gentlemen, VanPebble, bonus Balatro. All right. And then we will end the stream by writing a cordial breakup friend. I don't want to call it breakup friend. We gotta think of a name for it. It's the it's over letter, or it's the it's kind of like I've never really I've tried to do this before. So my mother, I actually wrote I got to the same kind of place with my mother years ago, and I wrote a letter to her saying, like, basically all the things that I felt that I thought she would understand, and she just thought I was going through a phase or something. And literally, like, there's some parents that can't take their kids seriously ever, and at this point I was like 35 years old, and I was writing this serious letter to my mother, and she just thought I was just some kid. Like, that's when people just lose. If somebody loses touch with who you are as a person, it might be time to let go of that person. That's what's happening to me, or that's what happened to me many times. And it happened to me with this guy like a long time ago. I'm over it. Like, you know, it's a friendship that I've let go of a long time. And sometimes these people too, it's like they don't know how to let go of things as well. That's what I said. I think he's going through a period in his life where he feels like this guy, this ex-roommate, where he probably needs some kind of validation, or he remembers things a certain way, and he just wants to, like, hear from me. He wants to hear from me, his old pal, his old roommate, for some reason. I want to get this just right. This looks good, actually, to me. I feel like that looks good. Can we go with that? Ladies and gentlemen, bonus stream, VanPebble. This is how we do it. We give you a little extra effort because we actually enjoy doing what we're doing. And I've always had that extra thing in my brain, like, go a little harder, give a little more, you're almost done, come on, push it, what do you got left? Always. I probably got that from sports. I had good parents. My parents were good people with stuff like that. Like, they were kind of lost and clueless on what it is to raise a human being on this planet. You know, they did a good job when I was a little kid, when it was like easy to raise a kid. But once you become like a teenager, they lost, and like a man, they didn't teach me anything about that shit. But maybe that's not for them to teach. Maybe you're supposed to learn that on your own. So I can't really blame. I don't want to sit around blaming everybody, hating everybody. That's kind of my thing too. It's like, I'm over the anger and I'm over the hurt. I still have a lot of anger and hurt in my life, but I'm over a lot of it. I've purged so much of it in a healthy way, where it's like I feel like, but I still owe this guy to let him know, hey man, that guy you knew, I don't think you know that guy. I don't think you would recognize that guy anymore in me. I'm just kind of not that guy. You know, I don't, yeah. I don't think our, like, friendship would be something that would be valuable to you anymore, you know? Because I'm this guy now. I'm doing this now. I'm a security guard. You never really liked security guards. You were always like the guy that kind of got busted by security guards. I mean, this guy used to smoke like crack and stuff sometimes. Like, that was another thing. Like, I probably should have said that, but I would come home and it would smell like, what is that smell in the house? The guy was smoking like crystal meth. I didn't know that he was doing that. That was kind of the end of it. I forgot that was like, that's right. That was like a big reason why we had to really end the friendship with the guy, because I was like, dude, I can't have you doing that stuff in my house. Like, I don't want those kind of people in my life. I don't want that kind of shit around me. I didn't know you were doing that. I didn't go through, it's not like I went through his stuff. I would have found it if I would have gone through his stuff, probably. It's like, you think of, when you think of like a meth head, you, like a lot of people are like, oh, like, of course, it's so obvious. It's not obvious always that people are doing those things. Some people are just very good at hiding their shit. Obviously, the fact that the guy was like, needed a place to live wasn't just because he was gay bashed. Excuse me, it was because he was spending all his money on drugs, probably. And what was really good was when I kicked him out of my house, it wasn't really me kicking him out. It was me like, he had a place to go. Like, we had worked it out together. I was just like, hey man, how long is it going to take you to like get out of here? And we had a good talk about it, and that was a whole like period of adjustment. Once I got to that point where he knew I really didn't want him there, it wasn't that I just tried to be as cool about it as I could. Like, hey man, he's like, I understand, and he did understand it, but I think there was still like, he still felt a way about it, which I could understand. I mean, somebody kicking you out, it doesn't feel very nice. But he said like, I get it. You want your own space, I know. I was like, yeah, I mean, yeah. And he was cool about it. And from that point on, though, we still lived together for once he knew I wanted him out of there. This is nice. Oh, we got to get this. Nice. 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 We picked a good deck, too. So yeah, then once I told him like, hey man, I really don't want to like, yeah, you gotta find a place to live, just take your time, like, but like move on it. And so it obviously, like, those could be tricky situations because it's like, hey man, are you actually trying, that kind of thing. But he actually did try, and that's when he got in touch with his old boyfriend, and his old boyfriend was like, I'll take you over here, you come live with me, I got a house, we'll live together. And so he kind of fell out of love with that guy, is what I understood. And it was never weird like he was in love with me or anything, as far as I know. I mean, I hope not, you know, like, I'm not a like heartbreaker or whatever. I never felt that was a real, I mean, could have maybe wanted to like get busy with me or something because I'm a guy and he's gay or whatever, but like, yeah, I don't think we're gonna do it with this one. Shit. Oh well. All right. Okay, this one didn't work out. It's okay, we'll play again. So when I finally was like, hey man, then like that whole time period where he's trying to find a place to live, we just had to find a new way to tolerate each other, and we did, and we got along quite well, but it was different. It was different after that. Like, once you know somebody wants you out, and we were friendly, and I still really enjoy it. And sometimes we would look at each other and go, oh, we're gonna miss this, and I was like, yeah, but it'll be nice to move on. I think we got it straight here. So then when he finally did go, I was so happy to have the place to myself, and I thought he was my friend still, but I figured out more and more that like, this guy really, not really, he kind of threw himself in my life, and it's time to move on. So anyway, it'll feel good. A lot of times these guys girls, whatever, they don't understand. Even after you tell them, they still don't get it. Because I think this guy thinks of himself, this roommate guy, of like, as this awesome guy. I don't remember him being as awesome as he thinks he was. You know? Or maybe he does. Maybe he realizes he was. Who knows? Maybe he's going to come and go, hey, you know what? I've kind of sobered up a little bit. I realized that, like, I'm sorry I put you through that. I don't eat, but the thing is, like, I don't need that from anybody. I don't need somebody. It would be refreshing if some of the assholes from my past came up to me and was like, hey man, I just wanted to let you know, I'm sorry. What do you mean? Blah, 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 I'm sorry this or that. That would be so cool. I don't expect anybody to do that with me. But it would be refreshing. It would be refreshing. But even if the guy did that, I would go, "Hey man, that's great, and I appreciate what you're saying, but I have no room for you in my life at this point. Like I'm done with people. I've kind of moved on from people, so it's not really so much you as much as it is me." Which really is true, but when you start saying stuff like that, it's kind of a red flag. Like when you start saying stuff to people like, it's not you, it's me, it's like kind of like wink wink, nudge nudge. You know what I mean? Like it is kind of... How many times have we had somebody say that to us and it's like, it hits home. Like it was me. Or it was, you know, they're saying it wasn't you, but it was me. I was a cunt, or I was not thinking, you know, about anything but myself. Or look, there's a lot of people that are so egotistical, they don't realize that they're that way. They don't. And look, there's a lot of people around this guy's circle just going, "You're the greatest. Yeah, white people do suck. You're right. It's white people. Yeah, it's not about you and your drug addiction. It's white people. That's what it is. That's what's holding you back. White people are holding you. It's not smoking crystal meth. That's not holding you back. Nah. No. It's got to be, it's always somebody else. It's always racism. It's color of your skin. This person's getting an opportunity. I'm not." It's like, dude, everybody loves this guy. When I met him, he was a manager. Like, that's how I met him. He was like, and I realized, like, I want to be a manager someday. I don't want to just be this, like... It's hard to tell people that. Everybody wants to be the boss. Everybody wants to be the boss. Not everybody's meant to be a boss. I love the Space Joker. I don't like it. I love it. You don't like it, you love it. I used to say that all the time. Okay, cool. I worked at this, I worked at so many places, but this one place I worked at, like a food place, restaurant, I mean. And I was a dishwasher, and all these, it was like a rib house, like a smokehouse, ribs, a lot of ribs, kind of stuff. And this guy, he was one of the cooks. He was a Mexican guy. I love those guys. He was a tough little guy. And he would say, I would say to him, "I don't like it." Because he would like, "You want some food? Try this." And I'd go, "I don't like it." And he would go like this. And I'd go, "I love it." I got it from the guy from, what was that movie? What was it? The Saturday Night Live sketch where Wayne's World, where the guy has a show in his house. I mean, that was like the first original like idea of streaming. Actually, was that sketch where they're like, "I'm Wayne and I'm Garth, man. Hey, man, welcome to the house." You know, like that thing where they're in their house. Like that was the original streamer. If you really think about it, that concept is where things really went. That's what we're doing. Wayne's World right here. This is Wayne's World. That's crazy to me to think about that. The reality of that's true. But anyway, that's where I got that from. And I would say it like I took that from that movie. I'd be like, "I don't like it. I love it." Because that was what the one guy would say, like, I don't like it. And people are like, oh, I love it. It was funny. It's a funny thing. It's not original. My favorite thing is to do a thing like that and then let people know I didn't come. If I came up with it, I will let you know. Trust me. An interesting run here. This is a bonus stream run. We're just having fun. We're super chill. Very chill. This is what everybody wants, chill, don't they? Except there's a podcast called No Chill, so he doesn't want chill, that guy. He doesn't want chill. Because he said, I don't. But most people want chill. Alright. Interesting run. By the way, our value of our hands is looking kind of good. That's kind of the main focus of this run here, is this fucking space joker. Let's pick up this one. Base cards can score. Now we can get some more money going. And let's pick up the straight flush, even though we don't need it. Let's check out our hand values. Our hand values are looking pretty good. We need to better it. Where it says 2, 2, 2, 2. We gotta better those. Pair, 2 pair, 3 of a kind straight. Let's get it though. We're doing great. We're doing very good. We want to play face cards as much as we can. And we probably should have played that specialized jack first. Because of the hanging Chad. The hanging Chad retriggers first played card used and scoring 2 times. We get a special card like that. We need to yank it in there. That's my bad. That's my bad. 9, 10. Okay. Fuck. I'm hoping to get this 2 pair up here. Golly, that's not good at all. Or we need something big here. We need something big here. Let's go with this. Oh, man. Let's see if this does anything for us. Very close. Stu, let's keep going here. Bonus stream, guys. Bonus stream. We're having fun. And of course, it's all going to go to the final thing we do, which is to write basically a rejection. How do we put this? It's not a rejection letter. It's like, it's over letter. It's like Dear John letter to a friend. You know, it's kind of interesting. This concept. I don't think he would be expecting that from me. Which is also interesting. People don't ever see it coming. This is another good one. So there's a guy who's like a security guard who comes to my parking lot where I work, because the thing that I do there, I don't want to give away where I work or what I do, but the thing that I do there, or where it is by saying anything, but people go there to get food. I could say that. And so this guy's a security guard, so his shift ends late. And we're still open at like 1 in the morning. And that's when it's kind of hard, because it's like drunk people and stupid kids that don't know how to handle their liquor or throwing up, and you're like, fuck, like all this kind of stuff. Let's try to get through this one here. This should be good. The final hand will be our best hand, most likely. Alright, here we go. Pair of 4s. There you go. That's all we needed to get through. Beautiful card. It's called Dusk. So this guy would come, right? And when I first met him, I was like, hey man, I just got a question for you about the security guard thing. Just kind of what, and he goes, look it up on ChatGPT. Yeah, ChatGPT. It was kind of a dick, and I was like, all right, you know what? Cool. That guy's a dick. I'll just remember that he's a dick. I won't be a dick back. But like, you know what? Whatever. This guy seems to think he's a big deal because he works. Maybe he's just one of these security guards, or maybe he's just tired. Who knows? It's a hard job. So this is like after I've known this guy, seen this guy for about a year, like a whole year. And so now he seems to remember us as being buddies. Like he's one of those people that the more you see him, they just assume we were friends or something. So the other day, he's like one of the last customers there, and I knock on his glass and I go, hey man, just want to let you know, you probably already know this, but we just closed. Basically, if you need a little bit more time, you go ahead and do that. I'll give you 15 more minutes. But then after that, I want to get everybody out of here. But the option's yours. You want to stay, you want to go, the option's yours. But if you want to stay, you only have like 15 more minutes. All right, you got it? And he's like, yeah. He goes, I thought you came by to say hi and catch up with me. And I just kind of looked at him, and there was no joke. He wasn't kidding. He actually was like serious, like we were old friends or something. And this is telling about who I am. I basically just went, oh yeah, oh hey man, how are you? Sorry, I didn't mean to, yeah. And by doing that, I think I could see a look in his face, like it turned something where he realized like, oh, this guy maybe doesn't like me that much. But I wasn't gonna like say it like, yeah man, I don't like you, you're fucking, you know. Because it's mostly just a feeling, you know. All car packs shop for 25% off. We're kind of doing good here. I like that we have a lot of money that we can spend on this stuff. I definitely want more money, but I definitely want another Joker. So there's that. Let's see what else we can do here. All right. Oh, we can only get one. Yeah. Yeah, so that happened with that guy. It's like, I guess the point of the story is like, people are just unaware. People are just very unaware. And if I don't say anything, which I haven't really said anything to the guy, I bet that guy still thinks we're pals. Or like, oh yeah, that's a good guy, that's my guy. You know what I mean? Like, I guess people think about that way. Like, there was a saying that people used to use. They'd be like, hey, my guy. Hey, my guy, how you doing, my guy? And most of the people that were using it were the biggest turds that I would ever want to meet. Calling me your guy. Like, I'm not your fucking guy. But that's what when I was younger, I used to do that. I'd be like, I'm not your fucking guy. And then and now you've ruined, now everybody thinks you're an asshole. Even though you were right to say that. See what I mean? It's like, this whole social thing for me has always been weird. So I've learned to just kind of like not be a social guy. So now what I say, you can like stand by it. There's no confusion with me anymore. Like, if I don't like it, I'm just not going to talk to you. That's pretty much how I do it. So that I'm at that point now where that's what's going to happen here. We're going to do a final letter to this guy. Hey man, consider this the final letter or the final thing. I don't mean it to be, I mean, this is kind of what I want to say is like, I don't mean to be like over dramatic, or maybe you don't understand why I'm saying any of this stuff, but like, I actually just have kind of moved on from friends and people. I don't have anyone in my life that I would consider a great friend, and there's a reason for that. I don't think people make very good friends. I think pets are better for me. Like, if I ever need a friend again, I'll just get a pet. That's kind of where I am with it. That's real. That's how I feel. And so I'd like to say this stuff. I'm going to say this kind of stuff to this guy. Play only one hand type this round. So why don't we try to do 2 pair? Excuse me. Go. Nice. But now we have to do 2 pair. And we don't have many discards left. It's gotta be 2 pair. There we go. It's an interesting run. There's the fucking Space Joker again. I love the Space Joker. Let's see, I'm a Space Joker fan. Some people call me the Space Joker. Wow. Some people call me the Space Joker. Some people call me VanPebble. Alright, here's what we got. Level 3 2 pair, that's good. We need to level the 3 of a kind, the straight, the pair. Come on. We need to level it. Okay. Calm myself down. This is great. Like, let's do this one, and then when we get to the free Mega Buffoon pack, actually, Uncommon Joker is actually good. It's really good, but we need to play. But I want to get a straight here somewhere. Is what I'd like to do. Let's see. So yeah, if you're watching, Ollie, there's another guy I don't want to be friends with. I'm kidding. Ollie, if you're watching, I'm playing your favorite game, buddy. And see, there are people that I am friendly with. I'm a friendly guy, but I'm not a friend guy. I'm burned out on the friend thing. I'm burned out on the boyfriend thing. I'm burned out on all that shit. I've just grown up. I've burned out. I've grown up. It's over with that shit now. We're gonna use the walkie-talkie. Oh, there's the banana. I'd rather have the banana. So there we go. We'll pick up the banana. Let's see if we can do a little. Oh, that didn't work. Oh. Free Buffoon pack. That's what we need. Okay, good. All right, so let's see what we can do here. It's really just giving me stuff I don't want. You know what? Can I tell you? I don't even like the misprint at this point. I'm sick of the misprint. We can pick 2 of these. I'm going to pick up the misprint for sure. I'm going to pick up the popcorn for sure. These are 2 compostable. What is the word for these? Food. There's a name for those. I don't remember the name. But do I get rid of the Lusty Joker? I think so. And I think we pick up, because we need to get some money going, we pick up the business card. And now our run is very temporary. It'll be good, but it's only going to be good for so long. But let's have some fun with it. I really want to make a straight here at some point. Gosh. Let's go. Let's just do like a pair. So we can get rid of some of these other cards. Try to build something like a flush here. That's what I want to do, is build a flush. Let's see what we can do here. We have 2 pair. Our 2 pair is pretty good. Oh, we can't do that? Why? Oh. I forgot. It's very important to pay attention to what's happening in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, we didn't make it again. We're going to try one more time here. And then we will write what I'm calling... What are we calling this letter? An ex-roommate letter. what do you call that kind of thing? An X. It's basically an X letter. It's a letter to an X. That's what it is. Those are the toughest ones to make, isn't it? Someone from your past. Someone from your past shows back up, wants to be maybe part of your life again. And then it happens to you when you're at an age, you know when you sit around and you go, what would I say to your younger self? I'm at that age. I'm 52 years old. I'm at that age where you can actually be in that scenario, real life, and go, well, this isn't what would I do, this is what will we do. We're looking for a queen here. And that's not a reflection on my ex-friend who was gay. See how I did that? It's pretty funny. Looking for a queen here. Gonna have to break up with... It'd be funny if I said, looking for a queen here, and then he calls. He's like, hey, I don't know, for some reason I felt like you were looking for me. Boom. We have no more discards. I gotta be honest with you, this is a fucking horrible run. And you know what? I think we're done. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm done there. Should we try to do one more? Nah, that's it. That's Balatro, guys. That's the bonus stream. You should expect the bonus stream is not... If it's really good, then it's a bonus. But really, for the most part, it's just me just trying to play a little bit more, keep it going a little bit longer. But ladies and gentlemen, that's the stream. That gives you a little extra. I'm sorry we didn't do a great job. Thought we did pretty good at first. That's going to do it for today's stream, ladies and gentlemen. I like that game, but the only thing I don't like is it makes my face a little smaller. And oh yeah, we have a job to do here. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put on some music that we had on. We're going to finish the stream by talking to my friend. I would like to do an advertisement, but I'm going to wait until the very end to do that. We could just do that really quickly at the very end. So here's what I want to do right now. I'm going to make a letter. It's going to be quick. It's not going to, I mean, it's going to be easy. It's going to be relatively easy. What I'd like to say to you, my friend, who I've known for such a very long time, is that I appreciate you getting back to me. I appreciate hearing from someone that I knew a very long time ago. I must tell you, however, I really am enjoying my life now, and I spend most of my time by myself. I'm kind of a loner. I always really have been, and I don't really want to talk to any of the old voices of the past. I wish you incredibly well. I have nothing but good feelings and thoughts about you, and I want great things for you. But unfortunately, I think I'd like to move on from anything we could possibly that could connect us to each other. I'm moving on into the sunset with the rest of my life, and I'm trying to keep it my life. It kind of reminds me of that Billy Joel song. I don't care what you say anymore. This is my life. And I think I just need people of the past to understand that I'm not the same guy that they used to know. It's also like that song, Something That You Used to Know. That's great. This is a great breakup letter. It's actually kind of fun. Someone that I used to know. This song, it's this song right here. I can't play it. Here. Somebody that I used to know, instrumental. I could do that. Should be able to get away with this. Somebody that I used to know. Here we go. Karaoke version of this song. All right, here's the song that I think is relevant. Yeah, remember this song? So I said in the letter, understand that I'm not the same guy that they used to know. It's also like that song, someone that you used to know. Someone. And I'll say, great song. Just to make it fun. And here's the song I was thinking of. Now and then I think of when we were together, like when you said, oh, together, like when you said you, well, see, this is like about like lovers. This is about people that were lovers. This is not appropriate. This is not appropriate. You were right for me, but felt so lonely in your company. Told myself that you were right for me, but felt so lonely in your company. But that was love. It's an ache I still remember. Okay, well, let's not use that then. Let's get rid of that. This is a gay man we're talking to. We have to be very careful how we talk to a gay man. Understand, that's my life, and I think I just need people. That kind of reminds me of that Billy Joel song, I Don't Care Anymore. It also reminds me of the Billy Joel song, Glass Houses. It also reminds me of the Billy Joel song, You May Be Right, I May Be Crazy. It also reminds me of the Billy Joel song, Piano Man. It also reminds me, I'm kidding, it doesn't remind me of all those songs. I just wanted to make a light-hearted final joke between us. Listen, man, it was nice knowing you. Have a good life. Be well. Adios, amigo. How do you say forever? Hold on. Adios, amigo. How do you say forever? Let's put some music on while we do this here. This is happy music. This is a happy thing. I mean, I'm glad to do this. I'm not sad. I don't want this guy in my life anymore. He's not in my life. It's not like I'm like trying to get him. It's basically saying goodbye to somebody who doesn't realize that you've already said goodbye. Adios, amigo. I feel like I've already said my goodbyes, but here it is. No, don't say that. All right, I'll just say adios, amigo. So here's the letter. Here's what I wrote. Can you put that in grammatical form? Proper grammatical form in English, and yeah, that's it. Proper grammatical form. All right, here's what it is. Here's what the letter is. We're going to send to this guy. What I'd like to say to you, my friend, whom I've known for such a very long time, is that I appreciate you reaching out. It means a lot to hear from someone I once knew well. That said, I must be honest about where I am in life. I'm truly enjoying it now, and I spend most of my time alone. I've always been something of a loner, and that hasn't changed. I don't really feel the need to reconnect with voices from the past. I wish you nothing but the best. I have only good thoughts and feelings toward you, and I genuinely want great things for you. But I think it's time for me to move on from anything that might tie us together. I'm heading into the sunset with the rest of my life, and I'm trying to keep it mine. It kind of reminds me of that Billy Joel song, I Don't Care What You Say Anymore, This Is My Life. And yes, it reminds me of Glass Houses, and You May Be Right, and Piano Man. Actually, I'm kidding. It doesn't remind me of any of all those songs. I just wanted to end with a light-hearted joke between us. Listen, man, it was nice knowing you. Have a good life. Be well. Adios, amigo. Ladies and gentlemen, That is how we're going to end this relationship. That is how we're going to end this stream. And I will send that to him right now. I'm going to send it right now. So you could see everything just go come off your shoulders. These old relationships, you know? Old friends, these things that you held on to for so long, and you realize, I'm not that guy anymore. I'm not that person. It's over. It's over, Johnny. Let's go back to it. I gotta recopy it. There we go. Good music, by the way. Okay. I don't know what we're gonna play next, by the way, for the next stream. I'm not sure. It'll be fun, whatever it is. I don't know what we're gonna play. But this is it for this stream. And I'm about to send it to the guy right now. I'm going to send the guy the text. I'm going to send him this text. This is a big deal for me growing up as a person, realizing who I am, and talking to people the way I feel like they should be talked to. Sometimes you got to get real with people and let them know, like, hey man, this back and forth, like, you know, when you were friends with kids when you were a kid, like you were 10, 11, 12, and you were just like little kids and you had a relationship with those kids, and they would call you like, hey, fart breath, and hey, stinky toes, and that's how you talk to each other. And then you, like, 30 years later, you connect with each other, and at that point you're 45 years old. Some of you don't even understand that because you're too young. But when you get older, you get to a point where, like, you really are not that fucking little kid. And I don't want anyone calling me turd breath anymore. Not that it would really matter, but I don't want anybody to call me that. My relationships are built on respect now. And now I can enforce it. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Empowering. Very good stream, VanPebble. That's all we want to do, is do our own thing. This is coming from our own life, our own experiences. That was a great stream for that. We really put it out there. And we got some good poker out of it. We played a little Balatro. I mean, we gave you a nice stream. I would like to take this time to advertise right now. My name is VanPebble, and I have a social media presence. Did you? I am present socially, social medially. My Twitter is VanPebble on X/Twitter. When are they just eventually gonna change it to X, or are they just gonna keep it, like, people just gonna keep going Twitter? I mean X. I mean, all right. So there you go. We have some fun on there. We talk about movies and music, and it's fun. It's never political. And then we move on to our YouTube page. The YouTube page basically takes all the Twitter stuff, or Twitch stuff, and throws it onto the YouTube. We actually have 2 videos we need to put up. Actually, this would make it 3. And I'm actually going to say actually one more time. Actually, there we go. So there is my YouTube page, VanPebble. What I'd like people to do on there is watch the videos, enjoy them, become a fan, enjoy it, and then once you become a fan, subscribe, and then I've got you. And the only thing that you're going to be doing is you're just going to be getting videos, man, all the time. When I subscribe to people, it's only people that are putting up content regularly. That is what we are doing. VanPebble on YouTube. Thank you very much. Goodbye there. And the last thing I'd like to advertise, friends, countrymen, Romans, and the last thing friends, Romans, countrymen, give me your ears. That's like a famous speech. Friends, Romans, countrymen. Where is that from? Friends, Romans, countrymen speech. What is that from? Julius Caesar. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. It's from a William Shakespeare play, Julius Caesar. Isn't it crazy that I even know that? People are going, how the fuck do you know that? There's no way you were a fucking literary guy. I wasn't. I don't know how I got that one. Ladies and gentlemen, VanPebble on YouTube, and finally you can donate money to VanPebble by donating money to me, Thomas Paul Vino. I'm the same friggin' guy. If I had my choice, I'd be VanPebble. I like that name better, but I was given this name, so we'll use it for now. At Thomas Paul Vino, small letters, no spaces. You can send money to me, and I can use it and be happy with it. If you have extra money and you want to show me how much you appreciate me by sending me cash, that's the best way to show it to me. Subscribing to my channels, going to my social media and being part of that. That's how you can help me grow, because that's what we're trying to do here. I'm trying to grow as a person and as a streamer, and I showed that I was trying to grow as a person when I showed you guys that ex-roommate situation that happened. A guy that I knew many years ago, I finally felt like, let's just tell this guy the way it really is. And I think we did good doing that. I want to read it one more time, see if it changes for me. What I'd like to say to you, my friend, whom I've known for such a very long time, is that I appreciate you reaching out. It means a lot to hear from someone I once knew well. That said, I must be honest about where I am in life. I am truly enjoying it now. And I spend most of my time alone. I've always been something of a loner, and that hasn't changed. I don't really feel the need to reconnect with voices from the past. I wish you nothing but the best. I have only good thoughts and feelings toward you, and I genuinely want great things for you. But I think it's time for me to move on from anything that might tie us together. I'm heading into the sunset with the rest of my life, and I'm trying to keep it mine. It kind of reminds me of that Billy Joel song, I Don't Care What You Say Anymore, This Is My Life. And yes, it also reminds me of Glass Houses, and You May Be Right, and Piano Man. Actually, I'm kidding, it doesn't remind me of these songs. I just want to end with a lighthearted joke between us. Listen, man, it was nice knowing you. Have a good life. Be well. Adios, amigo. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how you end things. That's how you let people know it's over. And that's how you let people know it's over with this. You know how we end a stream by letting people know? We actually just go goodbye and see you guys later. We're not there yet because I want to let this music play a little bit longer. I want to enjoy the vibes. I'm not sure what I want to do next game-wise. I might play little Nightmares. It's kind of Halloween-y kind of game. We're getting close to like Halloween and fall, so I want to get into that fall feeling. So maybe we'll play that. Maybe we'll play that at like 9 o'clock, and we'll play that for an hour or two. We got 4 more streams left for the rest of the week, and we're gonna make them good. I promise. We're gonna have some fun. Thank you for watching the stream, and we'll talk to you next time, guys. That's gonna do it for me. I'm out of here. See you later. Thank you so much. Peace.